Welcome to Lutron Designer, Lutron's premier design tool that allows you to create commercial lighting control designs and generate useful specification or submittal documents for any commercial applications. In this module, we will be giving you an orientation around the software. We will be demonstrating how to do the basic tasks within the software. The pace of this module will be rather quick because our goal of this module is to give you an overall understanding on what the software does and how to navigate around it. For step-by-step tutorials, please visit all the different other modules that we have prepared for you. The screen that you see right now is the main user interface of Lutron Designer. And there are a few major concepts to understand. Number one, on the left side is your area tree, which allows you to build a logical room structure for your project. Building a good structure is essential in helping you to easily navigate around your project. And number two, at the top are the different tasks that you have to do for a project. For example, loads and shades guides you to define fixtures, lighting zones, and shade groups of your project. Controls and equipment allows you to pick the most suitable Lutron products for your project. Link assignment allows you to configure your QS and quantum control links for large projects. Line item allows you to add product items that are not in the software. And area functions allow you to define the sequence of operation of all of your spaces. Number three, depending on what room you have selected on the area tree and what task tab you are in, your main workspace on the right changes to allow you to define and edit properties of a room. And number four, finally, after you have completed the tasks for all the areas defined in your project, you can select Reports from the top toolbar to preview all the different kinds of reports that Lutron Designer generates. These reports includes bill of material, one line, panel schedule, and etc. Now, we're going to demonstrate really quickly on how to design a typical conference room with a Graphic IQS system. Another reminder is that the pace of this module is rather quick. For step-by-step tutorials, please visit all the different tutorial modules that we have prepared for you. First, I'm going to set up my area tree. I can either use the tools available for me, or I could use my keyboard shortcuts. You will notice that Lutron Designer supports most of the standard Windows keyboard shortcuts, such as copy and paste. You can usually find tips on how to do them by right-click on any work area. I am going to create a few logical layers for the building and the floor, and finally my conference room 001. Then, within my Loads tab, I'm going to add in my lighting information for the room. I will first create a fixture schedule of a few fixture types. Lutron Designer requires you to enter the load type and load wattages in order to ensure technical feasibility of your design. In general, the more information that you enter, the lower risk that you would run into designing a non-feasible system. Within the fixture schedule, you will also notice that this also acts as a ballast selection tool. Now that I have my fixture schedule, I can now create my lighting zones. I am going to create one zone of 10 F2 fixtures, one zone of 3 F3 pendant fixtures, another zone of 3 F4 wall washer fixtures, another zone of 16 L1 LED downlights, and finally one zone of 2 L2 LED sconces. Now that I am done with my lighting information, I am going to quickly design some of my shades within the room through the Shades tab. I am going to add in two shade groups for my system. I'm going to design one sheer shade group and one blackout shade group, and each of these groups has 5 shades. Then I'm going to go into my Controls tab. In this tab, I can pick my Graphic IQS, Remember, after you pick the graphic IQS, you have to define the number of shade group controllers on the device. I'm going to add 2 wireless occupancy sensor, 1 wireless daylight sensor, some picos, and a 2-gang QS keypad. Lutron Designer allows you to specify ganging of keypads very easily. When you mouse over a keypad, there will be a plus icon visible for you to gang the keypad. You can also click on Properties to change the button configuration, colors, and engraving of the keypad. Now that I have all my lighting, shades, and control information, I need to specify how they work together. At this point, Lutron Designer introduces the concept of assignments, which can be done through these tables next to the graphic IQS. So I first assign the lighting loads that I create for the room to the graphic IQS as outputs. You will notice that while I'm doing assignments, Lutron Designer keeps track of all system design rules and automatically recommends interfaces when necessary. Then, I have to assign the wireless devices that I've created for the room. While doing so, you will also notice Lutron Designer keeping track of all the wireless communication rules on the graphic IQS. Next, I can also specify interfaces that I would need for the conference room by going into the Equipments tab. The difference between controls and equipment is Lutron devices that are usually visible within the space and usually solely within the space are in controls. Back-end type of equipment, such as devices that are shared across multiple rooms and are usually hidden from occupants within the space, are in the Equipments tab. So within Equipments, I'm going to add a network interface to interface with the AV system of the room. Now I need to verify my design of the QS link. So I click on Link Assignment. Here is where I can manage my QS links. Currently, I have one standalone QS link. At the top of this workspace, I can make sure I assign all my devices on the link. And at the bottom, I can rearrange my QS link to how I would like the system to look like. Make sure all devices are powered. Add power supplies if necessary. You will notice that all the system limits of the link are being tracked by Lutron Designer on the left panel. Finally, assuming that I don't have any line items to add, I can now verify my design with the sequence of operations of the room within the Area Functions tab. Lutron Designer automatically creates a sequence of operation based on the system that you have designed for the room. I can verify my sequence of operation and modify it using this interface, and even add any custom notes that I may want to add for my room. At this point, you have completed the basic tasks of designing the room. So now let's take a look at all the reports that Lutron Designer generates by clicking on the Reports option at the top toolbar. The bill of materials shows you all the parts and pieces of the system and allows you to customize all Lutron service options. The load schedule shows you the lighting information room by room. The ballast link schedule helps contractors to run digital ballast loops. The panel schedule is currently blank because we don't have any XP-GP LP panels for a quantum system. And the shade schedule allows you to show you the shade information room by room. The one line, probably by far the most important document of all, illustrates how the system comes together. The engraving schedule shows you visually how engravings will appear on different keypads and QS graphic eyes. And finally, the sequence of operation gives you a narrative on how the room will operate. To learn more about step-by-step on how to create the area tree, how to design your project using tasks, and how to view reports, please go through the rest of our tutorials. You can access these tutorials within the application, within Lutron Designer, under the Help menu from the top toolbar. You can also visit learn.lutron.com and enroll into the Lutron Designer learning plan. Thank you for watching, and good luck in your designs.